Well, hello, all my amazingly beautiful zodiac family and friends. My name is Libra Empress, and this is another episode of Tarot and Tarot with Libra Empress. Today, we are going to be watching three scary parking lot horror stories animated by IMR Entertainment. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we?
I'm scared to be alone in a parking lot. Yes, it might seem funny to you, but it's true. It's because of one particular incident that shook me. The apartment I live in is quite big, and it has an underground parking lot. Generally, it's a very calm and quiet building. The tenants hardly know each other. I don't even know how many people live here. Anyways, I was coming home late one night. As I entered the parking lot to park my car, I noticed the time on my phone. It was 2:15 a.m. As I entered the parking lot, the wide basement area stood in front of me. There were cars parked to my left and right in a scattered way. The parking lot was not that full. I decided to park my car at a close distance, so it becomes easy to get it out in the morning. I went straight, passing two cars on my left, and took a turn to take the third spot. After parking the car, I came out and started to walk towards the elevator. I was walking in that long, completely silenced parking lot. The only sound that came to me was of the hollow winds. I came in front of the elevator and hit the button, just when I realized I had forgotten my phone in the car. Damn it. Now I have to walk back. I started walking back to the car again. I was about to reach in front of my car, just when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around immediately, but there was no one inside the parking lot except myself. I thought it was my imagination, so I shrugged it off and walked towards my car. As I finally reached near my car, I noticed a handprint on the driving seat window. What the hell? I didn't remember touching the window while exiting the car. Also, the handprint was really small, like a school kid's hand. I unlocked the car and saw my phone lying on the car seat. I picked it up and turned around to leave, just when I found a woman standing right behind me, unexpectedly. To be honest, I almost had a heart attack. Oh, jeez. I hope I didn't scare you, mister. I got my shit together and said, who are you? I live here. Do you live here too? Um, yeah. I wanted to ask you, have you seen my daughter anywhere? No, ma'am. Don't mind me asking, though, is this your daughter's handprint? The woman took a close look at the window and then started to sniff the air in a very weird manner. Yes, I think she's hiding here somewhere. Oh, such a naughty little girl. So this woman's daughter left her handprint on my car window. The woman was constantly looking here and there and sniffing the air like a dog. Her behavior told me there's something not right with this woman. What the hell is she doing in an empty parking lot at this hour, with her little daughter nonetheless? I didn't say anything more and just wiped the glass. I should get going now. It's kinda late. Good night, ma'am. I started to walk away, but the woman called me and said, Wait! You've got to help me find my daughter, or else people will die. What? What do you mean people will die? The woman now took small steps and stood in front of me. She then whispered to me, You don't know what she does when she gets angry. We must find her before she kills again. She then started to look here and there again. Excuse me, ma'am, but will you please tell me what the hell is going on? The woman started to bite her nails while staring at me with her big eyes. She was grinning at me very creepily. I was losing my patience at that moment. I was about to shout at her, but before I could even speak, she stopped me, saying, Did you hear that? Hear what? Ma'am, are you alright? Here, let me call security for you. Then he can help find your little daughter. How old is she? 6, 8? She only looks big, but she's my little daughter. She suddenly grabbed my hand and started to whisper. Did you hear that? She's coming. She is coming out finally. I looked around, but I didn't see a single kid or even hear a chuckle. Ma'am, there's no one here. You should call the security. I'm telling you. There she is.
Now you have surely heard her. There she is.
The woman pointed right behind me, and I turned around. At the ends of the corridor stood the emergency stairs. The door was open. I didn't notice that all this time. I could only see a small portion of those stairs right behind those doors. The light of the doorway was flickering, so it made it even tougher to see that area. I thought that this woman was just crazy and trying to mess with me, but as I looked closer, my heart stopped in fear. A bony female figure came crawling down those stairs and stopped in front of those doors. It was a human, but she was walking like an animal. The girl crawled towards the light from the darkness. It stopped right underneath a tube light and made that low growl one more time. Before I could even speak a single word, the female figure made a loud, scary growl and started to crawl at full speed towards me. The woman standing right next to me started to laugh in a spine-chilling voice.
There's my girl, my naughty little girl. She likes you. She's coming to get you.
I screamed at the top of my lungs and started to run in the opposite direction, but I guess I was too late. The girl jumped on me like a predator, and I fell hard on the ground. I turned back, and the vicious-looking girl was trying to snatch out my eyes. I held her hands tightly, but she was so violent I couldn't hold her for long. She bit on my arm, tearing a chunk of flesh with her sharp teeth. She then aimed at my neck and rushed to bite me. But out of instinct, this time I knocked her out, giving her a hard punch. The girl screamed in pain and passed out right beside me. The creepy woman rushed towards the girl, sobbing.
No, no, no! You hurt my little girl! You hurt her!
I finally called the security guard. Many other tenants came too. They all stared at the girl with fearful eyes. I then came to know that this woman lives in the basement with her daughter. She is delusional herself, and her daughter is also mentally unstable. She used to work as the cleaning lady, but she stopped coming out of the basement. What made me feel even more disgusted was that the security guard knew about this woman and her daughter's condition, yet no one stepped in to help them. Even though the girl scared me and tried to hurt me, she's not herself. I called my friend who runs an NGO. With his help, we put the woman and daughter into a mental institution so that they can be taken care of. Even if the matter was resolved in the best way possible, I still can't shake off the vicious memory of that night. I'm scared to be alone in a parking lot, because as I stare into the darkness of an empty parking lot, I can't help but imagine that girl crawling out from the darkness like an animal and chasing me. Before starting the story, I would suggest you guys to go subscribe to the channel. It turns out that most of you guys who watch me aren't actually subscribed. So, if you like the content and want to support the channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. I killed a man, and I'm not even sorry for it. Last month, I went to the mall to buy some groceries. I live alone in California. It was almost the closing hours, hence the mall already started to vacate. I went straight to the food counter to get the things that I wanted. I bought some fresh meat, juices, some vegetables, and many other things. I came out carrying 2 large shopping bags in each hand and started to walk towards the parking lot. The bags were really heavy. Somehow I managed to reach my car. I kept the bags on the ground and took out my keys to unlock the car, when suddenly I heard, "Miss, can you help me please?" I looked around. The empty parking lot stood in front of me. There were cars all around, but I didn't see any man. I said in a confused voice, somebody here?" A minute passed by, but no one spoke. I started to feel scared standing alone in a parking lot at night. I unlocked my car and started to put the bags on the back seat. I was about to get in when suddenly, a bloody hand grabbed my arm. Seeing that much blood, I screamed in fear.
Please, you have to help me, otherwise he'll kill me.
A woman stood right next to me. I saw that she was stabbed in the stomach and bleeding badly.
Oh my God, what happened to you? My husband, he saw me. That's why he wants to murder me now. He stabbed me and abducted me from my house. He's gonna bury me in the woods somewhere so that no one could know what happened to me. Please, help me.
I felt terrified seeing her condition. Okay, I'll take you to the hospital and then we can call the cops from there. First, let's get you out of here. She was sobbing in pain. I helped her to get inside my car. I then closed the back door and was about to get in as well, when suddenly I heard a man's voice at a near distance. Hey, did you see my wife? I saw a man of average height standing on the opposite side of the parking lot. He was probably at 10 to 15 hands distance from me, which is why he couldn't see inside my car.
Oh my God, he must have seen me.
Calm down. Don't make any sound, I said to the wounded woman. The man started to walk towards me. There was nothing unnatural in his appearance. He seemed like a normal man with an ordinary face. I got goosebumps, thinking that this man is a cold-blooded murderer. Maybe this was why it becomes hard to read the true intentions of people. I said in a firm tone. No, I didn't see anyone. Was she waiting in the parking lot? Yeah. She was a bit sick, so I left her to rest inside the car. Are you sure you haven't seen her walking out of this parking lot? Well, I don't think I saw anyone, as I was busy on my own. But maybe I heard footsteps going towards the back. Great. Thank you. The man smiled in a very normal way, like nothing terrifying is going on in the back of his mind. He then turned around and started to walk back to his car. I let out a sigh of relief. Finally, I could take this woman to the hospital, and also get this freak arrested for what he did to this poor woman. I got inside and closed the door. I was about to start the engine, just when a phone started to go off.
Oh my God, it's him. He's calling me.
I saw that the guy was now calling her. Without wasting a single second more, I started the car engine, and I heard a loud yell.
Stop, you bitch! Stop the damn car!
He had seen us. He knows his wife is now with me. I pressed hard on the accelerator, and making a creaking noise, my car started to move ahead. I looked to my left and saw the man was now running towards my car at full speed. I knew he was trying to stop me, and if he managed to do so, he would kill both of us and bury our bodies in the woods. My car was standing in the middle of the parking lot. It'll take us 5 to 7 minutes more to make it to the exit of the parking lot. The man was now running towards my window and constantly yelling,
Stop the car, you bitch! Stop it now!
But I didn't stop. I was unable to increase the speed because if I drove too fast, there's a huge chance that I might miss the left turn leading to the exit while bashing my car at the wall near the exit door. The man caught up with the speed of the car eventually and jumped on it. He landed hard on my car bonnet, making a huge thud. The woman and I both screamed at the top of our lungs. This man was devil incarnate. He grabbed onto my car wipers, balancing his body on the bonnet.
Stop! Stop, I said! Trust me, whatever she told you is a lie! My wife is sick! Stop the car now! There's no way I'm gonna let you murder her. Once we go to the cops, you will rot in jail forever.
I don't know what triggered inside the man, but he crawled up and started to punch the windshield of my car with full strength. He was punching the glass and screaming like a maniac.
I want my wife! Let her go! Stop this car, you bitch!
I was freaked out, and the woman was sobbing in the back seat.
Please don't let him touch me. He'll kill me. Please, God, help us.
Her loud, terrified cry mixed with the man's animalistic grunt and constant punch on the glass stopped my brain to function properly. I couldn't take it anymore, and I missed the turn near the exit, making the car bash onto the wall. I screamed as I saw the wall in close distance. The car headlights hit real hard, shattering into pieces. My head slammed into the steering wheel, making me bleed terribly, and the view in front of my eyes went black. But before passing out, I saw with my blurry vision that my windshield was all red. I woke up in the hospital the next morning. How are you feeling now? A voice said. A doctor was standing next to my bed. There was a nurse with him too. I felt a throbbing pain on my head and realized bandages were tied to my head. What happened to me? I said in a low voice. "You had a huge accident last night, ma'am, but you don't need to worry. Everything's under control now." I stayed in the hospital for a week more. I came to know that the wounded woman I took in my car had suffered huge blood loss, but she's recovering as well. The man, on the other hand, who tried to stop my car by jumping on my bonnet, was smashed to the wall. A security camera captured the footage of the car hitting the wall and the guy's brains getting bashed, splattering blood all over the windshield of the car. The cops found my car in the parking lot when the security informed 911 about the bizarre incident they saw on their CCTV camera. The guy was dead. I killed him even though it was accidental. I could have been rotting in jail if that woman died as well. But luckily, she gave her confession to the cops. She said how her husband was dealing with drugs and selling them to young boys and girls. That night, she had a huge fight and threatened her husband to stop this crime or she will inform the cops about him. That's when the man picked up the kitchen knife and stabbed her in the stomach deep. She fainted on the floor out of pain, and the man placed her into his car to get rid of the body. But he needed to buy cleaning bleach and stuff to stop the blood flow. Maybe he thought the bloodstains could get him caught, so he parked the car in the mall parking lot and went to pick up things to wash off this crime. I'm glad I could save this woman's life. I've been released at being not guilty, as the camera captured everything that happened in the parking lot. The cops saw how the man jumped on my car and started damaging it to stop it. I have to live with this thought that I killed someone, not intentionally, but I did. And even if that makes me feel upset, I know there was no way, and I'm trying not to blame myself either. I did what I had to do. I've been a psychiatrist for the past 10 years. It's never easy to work with patients suffering from mental issues. The majority of the people in this world still don't take mental health as seriously as physical health. Hence, most of them look down on people suffering from mental issues, which are disgusting. The first rule of psychiatric treatment is to deal with the patient with lots of calm and patience. One wrong word or advice can devastate a patient's life. Unfortunately, I learned that lesson the hard way. This happened in the early days of my career. I was diagnosing a patient named Kevin. He was originally from Rhode Island, but he shifted to New Jersey for unknown reasons. I got to know a lot of weird things from him about his life, but he never told me why he came to New Jersey. I had appointments with him twice every week. He was one of those patients who needed extra care and undivided attention. Generally, with him, appointments ran quite long. Kevin was a shy person, probably in his late 20s. He used to come into my chamber and sit on the big couch, slouching his shoulders. His eyes moved around the room, as if he was searching for something. There was always a frightened look on his face. In the beginning, I thought he might be suffering from schizophrenia. At least, his words and gestures made me think that way. But with time, I started to discover some utterly disturbing details about him. One day, on a rainy afternoon, I was waiting in my chamber for Kevin to arrive. He was late that day, which was very surprising because he used to come early for every appointment. My secretary, Pamela, came in saying, "Kevin's here, ma'am."